Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a best of 5 now in the losers match. This means somebody's about to be eliminated from the tournament and not have a chance to play any more of the TING Open. Real quick though, while we do have all these wonderful sponsor things to shout out, I would recommend you guys type !Matcherino in chat. Go to the TING Matcherino page and use the code TINGOPEN to add $1 to the prize pool for free. There's some cool rewards on there that will contribute directly to the prize pool. For example, normally when you see a t-shirt for sale on a site like this, guys, 20 bucks, you know, 16 is going to the manufacturer / profit, 4 goes to the prize pool. No. Ting says 100% of that t-shirt purchase is going to the prize pool. You're just paying for the shipping really at that point. So get on over, look at the prizes, look at the rewards. We already have one where Jesse's going to have to do a backflip on stream at some point. I don't know how or when we're going to facilitate that, but we'll try to make that happen live. Anyways, game number 1. Kicking it off here on the top left side of the map, we have the we have the blue Terran player INnoVation. With the red Terran on the other side of the map, it's aLive. aLive actually has really good TvT, and while INnoVation's a god, we did see him fall to TY recently as well. So keep in mind, guys, this might not be so one-sided, despite how poorly the first series went for aLive today. Also, someone in chat is asking, are you broadcasting in America? No, my friend. Welcome to Canada! I know a lot of people do stuff in the States, and it's like really cool and have to be living in LA, you know, get that Hollywood life, but unfortunately, I'm a lowly Canadian. No doot. Got a Gerber eater ready to gobble up that 2.6 bottle I drank last night. Get her. Give her. How you know? Etc. I can't keep up my accent, dude. I can't. I got sorry. I say sorry like a Canadian, then that's about it. Everything else I have to like actually force out and fake. Although I do enjoy my shreddies. My diamond shreddies. TvT, by the way, I should mention this, can be really, really volatile in the early game, and to the point where you can like lose a game based off like a first couple of Reapers, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. But INnoVation does get a pick off on the SCV. That's going to delay the command center. That's going to be frustrating. But when it comes down to it, a lot of it is dependent on the factory units. And it's weird to see INnoVation go straight to a Hellion while it's aLive who goes for Cyclones, because I had mentioned before, INnoVation is the guy who's kind of pioneered the 3 Cyclone build. I got so triggered by this too, as casting the main art for the BTSL finals is TY versus INnoVation. And for every single game that there's a TvT, I had talked about INnoVation doing this 3 Cyclone build, never did this 3 Cyclone build. Finally, I don't bring it up, he does the 3 Cyclone build, so I'm gonna treat this best of 5 kind of in the same way. I'll just mention it now, even though we might not see it come into play at all. I think a lot more of the priority for harassment and damage in this game, though, like if you can survive this early hustle, I guess we'll call it, right? Survive the Hellions and the Reapers, the Cyclones, you name it. It comes down to the Ravens. A lot of players, just 2 Ravens is the standard. 1 works out well. I think we're seeing 2 different uses of them. Primarily, 1 is, of course, harassing the mineral lines, but the one I like more of, and the one I've seen actually aLive go for a bit more often than others, is just saving the energy for breaking tank lines. Just going with that attack, having about 8 auto turrets ready to go, you can destroy an opponent if you want to be aggressive. But aLive's got 2 Cyclones, and this is more than enough to ward this off. He's getting a little bit out there, a little bit worrisome. Ooh, I love the way INnoVation tried to use the high ground vision provided by the grass there. It's kind of a cool move, but ultimately all he's doing is trying to delay this push. aLive's eventually going to be coming up against a Cyclone. A Viking landed, can actually do a lot of damage to Cyclone too. I mean, technically he is overextended here, and I'm a little worried for him for it, but I don't think he's in grave danger. Now he's got that medevac to back him up, he's going to feel real good. That command center taking a lot of damage, forcing out the initial part of this fight. But the Hellions and the Reapers can easily blow away all these Marines. And if the Marines are gone, the Cyclones could die to anything else that's remaining. Oh, I know that's not a new sub. That's a really sad feeling resub, because the sub expired. I'm not sure if there's anything you can do about that, Hule Haran. I know you've been around for a long time. But if that bugged out, maybe try contacting Twitch under their support. Either way, welcome back to the stream. I'll count it as a new sub just so we can get that hype going. But I know you've been around, dude. I know. Actually, my curiosity reigns in with, if your sub bugged out, were you able to get the half off benefit? Because I know that the rules are you have to have been like not subscribed for like a month or something. I don't know. Anyways, aLive's pretty well set. He didn't overcommit, pulls back. Both players 2 bases. INnoVation helping towards his 3rd here very soon. But aLive's not going for a 3rd base. He's actually invested in quite a few Vikings. This might lead to a pretty dedicated push. Actually, this is really bad for INnoVation timing-wise. aLive's already started his stim, so he's got a little bit of a leg up in this regard, but I'm more interested in the fact that he got his +1 much sooner. INnoVation's going to scan and see this too. The extra 2 barracks, I don't know if that's big enough of a tell for him to be like, okay, there's no 3rd CC, but it might just be, because his own barracks only just now coming in. Either way, the stim advantage will be one thing. It's the combat shields and that +1 that I think are being much more deadly, much more efficient, and much more possibly game winning. aLive doesn't need a lot of tanks. He's got the one, couple of Vikings. Did I see a Liberator? Am I crazy? I am crazy. Okay, I didn't see a Liberator, but anyways, he'll be able to take on Marine fights really well. The +1 would have already given him an edge, but the fact that he's gonna have combat shields is gonna be massive. Like, combat shields is seriously gonna win him the game if he hits this timing perfectly. But everything INnoVation is going to be doing right now is trying to buy time. You know, we saw him do that earlier with the Reapers and the Cyclones dynamic there. These Vikings will control the skies too, so he's not going to have to burn a bunch of scans if he can just keep Vikings and air control in. And we got another new sub coming in from Plum. PLOMM. Thank you very much for that new sub, dude. I subbed for 2 years ago and now I'm just a scrub. No, I'm telling you, Hule Haran, please, please, pretty please, try checking out Twitch support. They might be able to fix it for you. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. But I was gonna say, I know you've been around for a while. I'm really sad that you lost your badge. I don't want to make you sit through 2 years to get it again. So hopefully there's something they can do for you. But Plum is brand new. That one's actually new. So again, welcome to the channel, dude. All those new subs today who are looking forward to these replay packs. Again, I will be sending these out because someone asked about this earlier. Usually about half an hour after the broadcast ends. It could take some time to get to your inbox, but if you don't see a replay pack and you are a subscriber by the end of the day, send me a message and I'll just send it to you individually, because sometimes mass messaging can get messed up. But anyways, that is a hell of a drop. Flying V style, ducks fly together. And aLive's going to be putting on a deadly show here for INnoVation, who again, whether he's forgotten about it or just timing hasn't favored him syncing it up correctly, he's not going to have combat shields. This army out of aLive, not only is it 10 extra health per Marine, it's basically 400 extra health in the army over what INnoVation has. Oh, this command center is just dead. Straight up. No chance to repair it, no chance to save it. Already a good start for aLive's attack. And INnoVation, I mean, even if he holds the deflects, now he's a whole base behind. But these auto turrets should help out a ton. The Ravens are going to have to pick and choose what they want to shoot, whether it's a point defense drone or whether it's some auto turrets to stop. Either way, again, combat shields is a pretty big deal. INnoVation's is on the way, and it's not that long of an upgrade. This can actually get in here pretty quickly. But the tanks are left unguarded, so the Marines pounce on top of this. I'm not sure where INnoVation was looking. I think he had loaded up a couple units down here, a couple Cyclones trying to wrap around the bottom side of this map. But having lost tank control, still not having that combat shields, not looking good. But if he gets to 2-2, and if he gets the combat shields, despite being down to base, INnoVation then will be rocking and rolling with the Marines. So, ooh, big deny in that tech lab. Takes out combat shields. Forget +2, guys. Combat shields is better than upgrades. As we see here, aLive's fight is going very well for him. A lot of that has to do with the tank control, but most of it has to do with the combat shields. Now stimming a win. I don't know if INnoVation can do anything about this. He might be able to hold at the top of his ramp, but that won't matter if all the Marines got the SCVs in the natural. Ups on top of this tank. Takes that out pretty nicely. He's maintained and secured a pretty nice lead so far. INnoVation is definitely the one who's struggling at this point. And again, even if he gets +2 weapons and +2 armor, it's still him fighting without combat shields. He does get the tank shot there at the end, and aLive's momentum is starting to fall off a little bit. Keep in mind, not a lot of workers died, but it's still the fact of a difference of a third. Who, aLive, by the way, never got his own. He could probably afford that behind this. But if combat shields ever finishes, and it might not, this tech lab placement is just so bad for poor INnoVation. If that combat shield ever finishes, INnoVation can take some fights. But level 2 weapon upgrades are not cutting the 10 extra health that aLive has on all these Marines. And INnoVation is losing this fight. He loses the game, and aLive takes map number 1. Very well done out of aLive too. Absolutely love to see that. Combat shield timing, I get to talk about all the time, but we never see actually come into play. So super duper sick for that to have happened for one time ever. Abyssal Reef going to be the next map. Let's get this hosted up pretty quick here. Try not to waste too much of anyone's time. Also, I love, guys, Jibby's doing it best. This is what I want to see when people win games. We made the GG thing sparkly at 1 cent in hopes that people would use it more. Nobody does. I know 47ness and a couple others are pretty avid users of it. But thank you, Jibby. You're making my chat dream come true. Also, yo, BitBoss now almost killable. This, for me, again, it's a mini game, it's a side game, it's whatever. And I'm not trying to bait you guys into using bits or donations, but last time we saw a Carefree Rogue with this much health, not only was he bit boss for the 2 weeks, he had like Titan potions and armor. He was like impossible to kill. He was healing himself. So dethroning this guy is no easy task. The fact that we've already done it in like less than 24 hours, good on ya. Maynard cheers 10 bits for the GGs. But see, Maynard, here's the problem, right? You got one glorious looking 10 GG when you could have spammed 10 individual GGs, man. 10 ace cheer ones. Amateur hour. Anyways, we were waiting on INnoVation to join the lobby. I'm not just sitting here like, oh, it's about cheers and bits, guys. He's with us. I'm just waiting for the go ahead. They're just having a bit of a chat. All right, they're ready. Let's hop into it. I know we got Tempo lurking in chat. This one's for you, brother. We'll see you guys in game. BaseTradeTV, you should show the cup if you want individual spam. Yo, I hate that cheer cup. I'll talk about that more later because we already have things getting a little bit spicy. I had the wrong score there because it's this guy who's up 1-0 in the top left. We've got aLive. With his opponent in the bottom right, the Red Terran INnoVation. INnoVation getting up and close and personal with these proxies. Not happy with the way that first game went for him. Also, yo, I was like, whatever for the bits, because I thought it was just a little bit of bits, but Jibby25 comes in and he literally drops the bomb and then drops another bomb. 2 1000s coming in here with a couple of GGs. That's the most beautiful looking chat line I've seen all morning. Thank you, Jibby. He also slaughters the bit boss too, by the way. I didn't even realize consequence of actions. So, congratulations. Yo, Jibby25, before someone snags it from you, type ! boss glory. And if you're feeling real dirty, you type ! boss tax. Use it before you lose it, my friend. Wise words. Alright, so aLive finds out about the proxy. SCV was poking at this SCV. He's not going to be able to stop it from coming. But this lets him now know that he can maybe intercept this. Instead of going for a faster factory or throwing on a reactor, he knows he needs to actually build units. The worst feeling is when you are building a reactor, you're being a little bit greedy as a Terran player, and the Reapers come into your base, and you're like, well, crap, I'm dead. But double Reapers will be hitting here soon, and aLive is at least going to be able to match this initially. It's just a matter of that snowball effect. Oh, he boss taxed us, boys. Boss Jibby smashes the floor and takes 5 Makarows from everybody in the channel. Ooh, aLive takes that Reaper fight too. I didn't actually expect that to go his way. I thought INnoVation had gotten that first shot. So already a pretty big deal. Also, yo, Therminator, good morning to you. Thank you for those bitty bits. Of course, he always comes in with some muxies too, but that Reaper was not fully healed from the first fight. aLive was hoping to keep that back for some time, but INnoVation was also hoping to kill the SCV building the factory. Both players are one base, and INnoVation starts his own factory back at home. He's going to be a little bit behind for this because he's also investing a lot of gas into the Reapers, trying to get these kills, but so far not so good. I mean, he lost his first Reaper, the snowball effect's not there. He hasn't really picked off any SCVs. Got 2 battles going on right now, guys. Reapers and bit bosses, but aLive has done such a good job holding against this, and INnoVation really has to start snowballing it. If this was a Hellion coming out, INnoVation could still take a fight. The fact that it's a Cyclone, this is kind of over for him. Not the game necessarily, but the aggression at least. So he'll probably use 1 barracks to scout, at least lift 1 to come back home. Maybe he'll use the other one to come back home too, but I'd much rather him use this for a scout. So he doesn't have much information either. Like, he doesn't know whether aLive is maybe taking a command center or a faster starport as a result of this. It looks like he's going to be aiming for the command center, though. INnoVation takes his own command center, and maybe with a bunker he can hold against a cyclone push. Yeah, there we go. He's going to use the barracks to scout. I think this is actually so important for INnoVation to be doing. Confirming whether it's going to be a starport versus a barracks, versus a command center lets him know whether he can afford to go for his own command center or whether he has to put bunkers down. But his own cyclones and starport coming up at home, and this will see the CC? Should. I wonder if INnoVation's contemplating playing mech off the back end of this, though. Because it's going to take so long for that other barracks to kind of even come home. And we'll find out in a moment. Yo, Nifty Nathan says, I'm back from dinner. Let's get the wallet out. Nifty Nathan, how was your dinner? What did you get? And was it chicken? That's the real question. Anyways, Terminator threw 500 muxies in with another 200 to combo or 700 kill, but Jibby stabs him right back to take control of Bit Boss with a nice little dagger there too. So thank you guys for the bits. Making it rain here in my morning. I appreciate it. aLive though, okay, he kills the barracks. Well, it burns down more accurately, but INnoVation has done what INnoVation does when I don't talk about it, and he's gone for 3 cyclones. This is actually a rock-solid defense against anything shy of a tank, because a tank on Abyssal Reef especially can get positional advantages. But I think INnoVation was really worried about that, so he's gone for a Liberator too, which I like. This is not only going to be something he could use defensively, as the timing for the push would be hitting soon-ish, but he's also going to go aggressive across the map with it. The beauty in aLive here is that he doesn't actually have that much anti-air set up. This Liberator could actually get a pretty substantial amount of kills if this goes correctly and according to plan. Although Cyclones would eventually kill it. If Cyclones are chasing that Liberator, this leaves freedom for the Reapers and the Cyclones to go up the ramp. There's a lot of what-ifs going to happen here, guys, and a lot of it is reacting to what each player does. So, coming in, storming through the front, Cyclones don't actually target the tank initially. That's a problem. That's going to cost him of his Cyclones, actually. Mistakes were made as INnoVation starts pulling back. This does let him set up in the main, but oh, aLive was paying attention, so SCVs are pulled and very few are going to get killed. This will deny some mining, which will be nice, but as we see, the Liberator will eventually be taken out by those Cyclones. Their anti-air damage is really not that impressive, but it's enough. Nifty Nathan asks, so guys, is a Twitch Prime better to sub with or normal? Okay, let's lay out the rules here, right? Not the rules, the deal. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can get Twitch Prime for free. You can also just get Twitch Prime on your own, but you should connect the two anyways through twitchprime.com. That way you get cool access to loot, game codes, and other things. Twitch Prime also lets you view any stream on Twitch with ad block, basically absolution, I'm going to call it. Because even if you're sitting there with ad block, with Twitch Prime, you still give money as if you saw the commercial. On top of this too, you then get the benefit of not seeing commercials. Secondly, you can sub once a month for free, well, I guess thirdly, with Twitch Prime. Definitely say use Twitch Prime if you've ever got the option for it. But Twitch Prime doesn't auto-renew is the one drawback to it, so if you're looking for cool sub combos and benefits to channels, you can only do it once every 30 days and you have to do it manually. So really, it's up to you. The other benefit though is until the next 3 days, you can sub to a channel for half off with real money too. Say real money as if you're using Monopoly money here, but anyways, those are your two options. The great options. Nifty Nathan, you do what you want. Either way, know that I'll appreciate the outcome, no matter what choice you make. But anyways, while I use that segue to buy a little bit of time, INnoVation actually ended up getting quite a nice army up back at home. There's no big tech difference this game, guys. Like Stim finished up, combat shields are close. One is close for both. I shouldn't say 1-1, but it's more like 1 and 1 are both close enough that I don't think there'll be a timing difference here for the tech. So it's going to come down a lot to army supply and army type. And right now, actually, I didn't realize aLive had not rebuilt his tanks. Only just now the first one comes out. So, oh, second one, excuse me. There we go. He's good to go. I was really worried about this, but INnoVation, he's got the option of positioning here. He might just go for a big Doom Drop style, but seeing 2 Vikings, oh, that hesitance. He is contemplating just boosting through them. Unload's a little bit scared of what would have happened. Okay. Cyclone's going to see army over here, but the fact that these medevacs showed themselves, now aLive's going to be positioned and ready to intercept any sort of drop that comes his way. scan goes off. This is not a bad position. Those tanks can still reach the choke, and that's all they really need to do. Command Center is going to get pushed off, and aLive might lose the CC. This is a nice role reversal of last game, but he's not quite going to get it. In fact, a lot of mass repairs are costing the SCVs their lives, but it keeps the Command Center alive. Tanks are also in range of other tanks. Big scans out of INnoVation to get those shots. But the Vikings pushing back the medevac slowly makes this a very tough fight for him to sustain. He's actually going to just boost on over to the main, realizing, hey, wait, aLive, you've got everything also on the front lines. A little bit awkward here, so it's going to cost aLive a lot of his SCVs. And while INnoVation's drop might get cleaned up as a consequence of this, 21 workers die is a massive lead for him to have now. Both players are in 3 CCs, but even with those extra mules, keep in mind INnoVation's also going to have his own extra mules. So aLive's production for now keeps up, but this will start trailing off as his income is just going to plummet. More SCVs in the natural, destined to die here. Takes out one of the Vikings as well. Both of the Vikings, actually. This was an interesting choice to prioritize over SCV kills, but INnoVation has another quad drop lined up on that front line. Well, the third CC wants to come into play. That's not going to happen. INnoVation will prevent this third base from going down, and a soft contain might win him the game more than a hardcore push. Liberators also have to pick and choose where they want to go. Tanks are setting up over here, so the Liberators also try and siege up on top of them. Focusing down the Liberators with the Marines is a little bit costly, though, for INnoVation. Loses a lot of those frontline Marines. But as it takes out the Liberator, the tanks will root their positioning here, and this is on top of reactors. If you lose your production as a Terran player, you're out of the game. His own tanks are getting demolished on the backside of this, and well, trying to drag and drop Marines isn't going to cut it. INnoVation is actually straight up killing the barracks. Who needs to kill the reactors if you can kill the barracks? Oh, this is getting really out of hand for aLive, to the point where I don't know if he can actually recover or save the situation. SCVs get pulled, but the Marines filter in through the reactors. There's an old SimCity playing against him here. And INnoVation is just barely not going to be pushed back. 3 Marines in a tank, continuing to kill what little is left. I'm not sure at which point aLive says I'm going to tap out of this, but you know, he just dropped 4 mules in the main, some of which are going to get picked off. Oh, this feels really bad. Like, stop it, he's already dead. He's already dead! You're a monster, INnoVation. Yo, Nifty Nathan, my dude, coming through with his promise, guys. I love when Twitch viewers actually keep their word. Rocking us now with a Prime sub. Thank you kindly. We also had Raving Madness come back for 2 months to say, hoop-de-dup, hoop-de-dup. GG. Ladies and gentlemen, INnoVation ties up this series 1-1. And that's going to send us here to a very small commercial break, since it's been about 30 minutes since our last ad. So sit tight, guys. We got more of the elimination match coming up when we get back, as things are already tied up. Perfect music to return to the game to. We got some bits, some subs coming in, but before that, guys, you're watching the Ting Open. If you are from the United States and you're tuning into this show, you might be able to save some money in your phone bill each month by swapping to Ting. Make sure to check out bttv.ting.com. I know a lot of you are locked into phone bills, so you're probably not going to be able to do it right now, but it's worth looking into for your future. As again, the average phone bill on Ting is usually less than $20 a month. But okay, spawning in the top left. This is, once again, reminding everybody, the elimination series. Loser is out of the tournament in this best of 5. But having tied things up 1-1, we have the blue Terran, INnoVation. With his opponent to the lower right, the red Terran, aLive. Also, Gornian, thank you for the 200 little bitty bits, 10 bits at a time. I'll take it. I appreciate it. And then Kill 'em all, 74 subs on Prime for 8 months. You know, I've been trying to encourage people to use bits for God knows how long, and then today's like, yesterday was subs. Okay, hang on, actually, this is crazy. So 2 days ago, we had the insane follow train, 400 plus follows in a stream. Yesterday, we had the insane sub train. We had like 59 subs at the end of the stream. And then today, we got the bit train going, man. I don't know, we're like going through the 12 days of Christmas, but like, instead it's like Twitch things. I don't know, I love it. Thank you guys so much. All right, so excuse me as I clear my throat here. Actually, where's my bottle of water? I gotta delve into this guy. Hey, that's America, bro. You think they'd be able to give that deal up here? So as far as I'm aware, Ting is looking to try and get into Canada, but Canada has been all like, "Oh, our cell service is stupid and limited, and we don't give it to people just like America does." So unfortunately, Canada doesn't have Ting available to it. But I would certainly use it if I could, because right now, to give you guys some context here, and I'm not even kidding, when I say like Ting's average phone bill is like less than 20 or 25 bucks a month, that is like actually real. This is based off of ZombieRub using them monthly and the fact that I've used them in the States. But for me, I'm stuck on a TELUS plan, and for 2 gigabytes and limited calling and limited data, it's 90 bucks a month Canadian. I hate it. I hate it. If I didn't need a business phone, I wouldn't have this phone at all. I just look at it as this like hugely stupid burden because Canada has terrible phone rates and no data, and every time we talk about it, I get riled up. Then the Europeans start talking about chat like how they pay €15 a month for all this unlimited. Fuck you guys. Ting is saving America, and I don't have it in Canada, and it makes me very, very sad. Anyways, they're a great service. Roaming is $7 a day too. So like last year, whenever I'd go to the States, whether it's for BlizzCon or like a DreamHack, like it was perfect to use Ting for the weekend because it would literally be like $6 for their activation charge and then like $5 for data total for like 4 days. Like it was great. So Ting can even help you out if you're like a visitor like myself. Anyways, wrap around north side, INnoVation does skirt past aLive's army, but this isn't good for INnoVation necessarily. aLive's going for a lot of Hellions this game. This is more than your typical little bit of harass to the point where I'm like question marking whether it's going to be all in. It also might just lead to mech too, but while he loses some SCVs in the natural, and this kind of sucks for INnoVation, aLive's about to say what's up to these Marines, and Marines do not fare well against Hellions unless you decide to sit in their gunfire and not kite them? What? Okay, so INnoVation gets a kill there and almost gets 2 of the Hellions dead. This would have actually reduced the damage here significantly. The fact that he's going to not focus this down too, I'm not quite sure what he's so stressed out about, but he's not handling this out perfectly at all. Cyclone and Raven guarantee this won't get away with much worse than what it's already had, but man, for aLive, this was kind of like a bit lucky for him in some ways. They end up trading worker counts almost evenly, 6 to 7. But the downside is Hellions aren't going to have much more use to him going forward unless he's going to swap into, again, playing something more like mech. But we'll see what his decision ends up being. He's gone for Ravens for now for auto turrets and harass. This will not work out though because INnoVation's anticipated this and waiting for the Viking to hit. Canada demand more money. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, as a Canadian, there's a reason you don't see a lot of Canadian content producers compared to United States content producers in any game genre. And you know, a big part of this is how bad our internet is. Like, if you guys are unaware, I think it was the CEO of Sprint. Ooh, nice pickoff on that Raven. That shouldn't have worked out for aLive at all, but it did. Because INnoVation got a little bit greedy with his own. But the CEO of Sprint classified Canada as like a third world country when it came to internet. And he's not wrong. To give you guys an idea here. Not that this has anything to do with the tournament, but again, this has everything to do with being Canadian. 125 bucks a month gets me 15 megs down, 10 megs up, 100 megs down, and then like 800 gigabytes as a data cap. This is why I can't always stream in 1080, and sometimes you see the streams at 720. Anyways, I don't know why we keep bringing this up in chat. It's just triggered me more and more, and I love you guys. Also, thank you to that new sub. We'll get a shout out in a second because we got a pretty big fight happening in the middle of the map, and INnoVation, having lost one of his Ravens, is going to be severely disadvantaged through auto turrets. The auto turrets may or may not get some really good damage done here, but it's more about the damage they're willing to soak or able to soak. And aLive, by the way, has confirmed gone mech behind this. We got 2 extra factories coming into play, and he's gone for vehicle weapon upgrades. I love watching mech in TvT, but there is a big problem with it. Mech is only good. Ooh, that sounded good, whoever that was. Get that in a sec here, but mech is only good if you can get your supply like above 150. And the problem is a lot of bio pushes end up forcing fights around 150. So that's why mech always looks so bad. But then you'll get that one game once in a while where mech looks phenomenal in a TvT. So it's really to be determined how this will go. For aLive though, I like that he's going for it. I like seeing some change-ups and variety in play. But let's get caught up on some of these shoutouts since it looks like we got a bit of breathing room as INnoVation pulls back from the middle of the map. Anton Storhest, thank you for that Prime sub. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to the Base Trade Brigade. Nifty Nathan throws $10 in and says, keep up the great work, Rifkin. Your dedication shows. Yo, did you ever see what you had in dinner in chat? Did I miss that? What did you have for dinner, bro? Thank you for the 10 bucks. And then Dubbin Wolf tops it all off with a little bit of bitty bits. 200 bits coming in. Thank you so much. But INnoVation pulling back. Another sub coming in. INnoVation pulling back wasn't a bad idea being exposed in the middle of the map without both the watchtowers under his control was like really weird. I'm not sure why he didn't just take that second one, but he's just got the one for the time being. So I have a little bit of vision to see if aLive pushes through the middle. And aLive, as a mech player, you're not typically doing a lot of drops. There are some Hellion drops here and there, but whether it's auto turrets through Raven Harass or the odd drop, usually mech players are consolidated. They're pushing us one big thing, and it's usually going down the center of the map. So this is pretty good for INnoVation to actually have, even just like the one watchtower, even though he's about to lose it. But who was that coming in? Follow Switchback. Guys, go follow Switchback on Twitch. Thank you very much for that $4.99 sub, my dude. Medevacs have got these Hellbats locked and loaded. Blue Flame finishes up in just a moment. If you guys want to see disgusting, watch a Marine army get Hellbat dropped with Blue Flame. They're just gonna die. And what's worse is because the Hellbats get in like melee range of the Marines, their own tanks end up friendly firing them as well. So it's like you got the Blue Flame damage, you got the friendly fire damage, you get your opponent's tank damage. Doesn't get worse for these poor Marines. A lot of auto turrets going down as well. This sets up the positioning for aLive to come in. His Cyclones and tanks remains unsieged as he breaks the tank line of INnoVation. Now those Hellbats drop on top of everything and they begin to melt. Marauders don't even help in this situation, and INnoVation gets blitzed hard. He comes in from the backside, but this ends up being a surprisingly good fight for aLive. This is not typically the supply you see a mech player push at, which is a little bit why INnoVation wasn't ready for this. But oh my god, aLive gets away with so much. These Hellbat drops have destroyed INnoVation. GG takes the game, now leading 2-1 in the series. And folks, I really want to stress where INnoVation is at right now, because he is on his last life. If he loses another game, INnoVation will be the first player eliminated from the group. The first player out of well, not the first player out of the TING Open, but the first player in this group out of the TING Open. Acolyte. Okay, so I was trying to find the map here. This has been pretty nuts. Also, again, thank you for all the support you guys have been doing when it comes to monetary stuff, but don't forget to hit that follow button on the channel if you haven't already. We recently beat 20 million views here on Twitch while the channel was offline. Feel sad, man, that no one was here to celebrate it with, because we were, of course, offline, but we're over 20 million views so far, and we're creeping up on that 100,000 follower account. We're at 94,322 followers at the time of me saying this. So I believe maybe at this rate, if we keep going, we might actually hit it this year, but it's more likely we'll hit 100,000 followers like early next year. Either way, I never thought I'd see that number or anything close to it. Acolyte coming up though. See you guys here in game. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're hopping into Acolyte. It's game number 4, and this guy is on his last life. It's match point, and he might just be out of the tournament unless he pulls it back here and now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's INnoVation. With his opponent to the south, the Red Terran player aLive, who I think for some people it's really surprising he's winning the series, but to go back and be like, hey, that Rifkin guy wasn't so wrong. I told you aLive is good at TvT, man. And at a point, there was seriously this time in his career where he was like coming up to be that 4th member of the Terran Apocalypse and all that. He is pretty good at StarCraft 2, even though he doesn't get the big wins or the championship titles. So for him to be up against INnoVation, not super crazy, but definitely surprising, because INnoVation is, I think, everybody's favorite player. If you want everyone to hate you, you tell them otherwise. But also, yo, I'm gonna link this thing in chat if you're here live with us. I was on 2 nights ago, I was on my friend's cooking/drinking show, and I almost knocked down the entire lightings in the set, which is a couple $100 worth of equipment had I broke it. But I did it all for the sake of a bad joke, so you know it was worthwhile. Anyways, check out that tweet. It's got the clip link in it. Hopefully you guys like it. I had some fun that night. But focusing on things at hand here, like TvT is a real fickle mistress, man. Like whether you're INnoVation, top of the top, and you're like the best player in Korea, or whether you're Joe Schmo Diamond on the ladder, this matchup doesn't get much easier. It's like progressively just always difficult. And a lot of that has to do with what we pointed out before with the volatility of things. But also when it just comes to like positioning in the late game. I want to make it so clear, guys, a big part of why that fight looks so bad for INnoVation was Of course, he was a little caught off guard with timing. He didn't quite have the vision, yada, yada, yada. Typical things to talk about, but those auto turrets blitzed in. 8 auto turrets, 6 auto turrets. It doesn't matter whether there's 2 auto turrets. The tanks were busy shooting the auto turrets, so they didn't get to shoot the other tanks. They didn't get to shoot the Hellbats. Things just got so bad for INnoVation, and aLive had played that exactly how he should have. If INnoVation had his own auto turrets, maybe that would have looked different. I don't know. But still, drag and drop and blue flame, making mech work sub 200 supply is always surprising and impressive to me. That's a terrible joke. Yeah, it was. That was so bad. Whatever, guys. I liked it. I'm awesome. The joke made me sad. No, don't say that. But who was that came in with that resub? Stampede993. Thank you for running all over me 11 months in a row to say, Hurr. 1 more month and you get a Partoof, dude. Oh, also, when we get out of game, if I remember, I got those really cool cards made yesterday. Some of you already saw these, but I want to show them off because if any of you are going to TwitchCon or BlizzCon, you can get one of these for free from your Zombie Grub. We printed about 50 each, so we'll have a limited amount to give out. But if people really like them, we'll make more. Also, Red Scruffy. Red Scruffy. I know it's Scruff, but you're now Scruffy. Thank you for that Prime sub, dude. Alright, so INnoVation sticking to his guns. Actually, who's... Oh, I closed the window earlier. I'm trying to remember who was in INnoVation's group for BlizzCon, but I think he's got a couple of Zergs in his group. Because I know Stats is in the group that's got TY. And on that note, too, by the way, because it's been such a long Loser Series match... I want to remind everybody we have a PvP coming up next. It's Root Hero versus Stats, or Splice Stats, to be considerate, in the winners match. What's great about that is one's guaranteed to go through. What's not so good is if you're a Terran fan, it means there's a guaranteed TvP in the grand finals of the group. And honestly, like, let's say INnoVation does pull this back. He already lost pretty badly once. Maybe again? Same with aLive. aLive got absolutely floored by Hero. I don't have a lot of faith of these guys to actually take on a TvP the second time around if it's anything close to what we saw this first time. Nifty Nathan says, BaseTradeTV, are you casting at BlizzCon? No, I'm afraid not, man. Blizzard doesn't want me for live events. Feels bad, man. But in all seriousness, no. I did apply to do some streaming from there, so I'm hoping to get one of their booths. Maybe do some StarCraft games with viewers who are not at BlizzCon or something, but... as far as BlizzCon goes, every year that I've gone, I've just enjoyed being a fan. My favorite thing has seriously been sitting in the audience with like a group of 10 base trade nerds and we just like all kind of watch the finals together. It's a lot of fun. Actually, last year we did this thing that was great. Total Biscuit did Shoutcraft live at the StarCraft arena after the day 1, I think it was, of BlizzCon finished up. And we had gotten about like 11 or 12 people who were StarCraft fans. I had managed to drag in 4 or 5 of my non-StarCraft fan friends to come watch with us. And we kind of just had this little section of the audience to ourselves where we were being like these solo cheerleaders. Just really going perhaps a little overboard and a little too fake with our hype. But it was like just screaming and hooting and hollering and clapping your hands. It's a good time. Could never pull that off alone. It's going to be so... It's like that one guy in the audience. Everyone's like, shut up and sit down. Hey, Bamba26, thank you for that Prime sub. Hopping on that Prime hype train. So I should note too, just again, while things are kind of building up, we don't have dates locked in for the round of 16 for any of these groups yet. I've kind of been in discussions with some players, but for example, a lot of the North American players who are competing in our tournament were at Kings of the North, so they'll be traveling, and it's hard to find a time that works for them. We've talked to the European players about trying to do it on the 20th, so like the day before, excuse me, the 19th? Was it the 20th? Anyways, the point is before TwitchCon, but it's looking like several of these groups will end up playing out their round of 16 after BlizzCon's concluded, which means the round of 8 and the semifinals and the finals will all come down later too. Which is a problem further because Home Story Cup is there, so I just want to make clear to you guys, we're very much working hard to schedule the rest of this tournament out and adapt to the players and their schedules as time goes on. But just so everyone's aware, because I've been asked about this a couple of times already via Twitter, there are no dates locked in for the round of 16. We have nothing set for the round of 16, and for now, we're just trying to get through the round of 32, and they'll play it by ear. But this is how we've handled every season of TING, and it's nothing different, so just, that's more information for the new people who are looking to follow this awesome tournament. Also, Frobobogans? I don't know. Another Prime sub coming in. Thank you very much for that, dude. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have started solo casting a while ago. You guys are like really nice to me when I was solo casting. It makes me feel really awkward. But thank you guys so much. We're at, was it 101 follows, 101 Dalmatians for the day, 24 new subs. And we're only like a couple of best of vibes in. And of course, those bits rain in justice from above. But I know nobody likes to listen to me stroke our stream stats. I appreciate it, and I thank you guys so much. But these double drops are not timing out to really do much, and I'm really curious what INnoVation's planning to do here. I mean, one Marine, I really like what he's done here, by the way, spreading units out for stealth detection. Not stealth. Why would I say stealth? Anyways, he's going to see anything that comes, whether it's a drop, whether it's the Liberator sneaking in from the south side. He'll know, and he'll be able to respond, which is going to be what matters the most. Sensor towers and play stuff for both players too. It makes sense to me that INnoVation's playing really defensive. He's on his last life in the tournament. He can't make mistakes, and he can't afford to lose to aLive by pushing in for no reason. For aLive, I'm surprised that he's playing with so many like sensor towers in his own defensive play because he's up in the series. They're both on 3 bases, and this is going to look to be a maxed out army that collides with another maxed out army. As regarding to English versus Korean in the chat, guys, I don't speak Korean. I don't know what they're saying. I'm going to assume it's nothing too bad. Hopefully it's not, but if it gets a little out of hand, I'll let our moderators decide whether we put this in English only mode or not, because I could still read chat just fine, but I can understand why people might be a little annoyed seeing a bunch of different languages meshed and mixed in. It's still weird though, by the way. Shout out again, Korea is still actually locking down that #1 spot. US is overtaking Germany, so now we officially have more US viewers tuning in than German viewers. But South Korea is still doubling now. We got so many people from South Korea tuning in this morning. Smokey SC2 in chat asks, do you get replays if you sub? Yep, that's the benefit to being a sub to the channel. The only tournament we don't send replay packs from is the Lima League, but everything else we do. Coming around down to the south, they're wrapping around for positioning. Tank count's actually favoring here aLive quite a bit. 7-11. Get a Slurpee, guys. Air control's a pretty big deal too. Actually, going back to the unit counting tab, 8 Vikings is really abnormal to see, but this means that INnoVation cannot use Liberators. He can't position himself well. He can't even really get those Ravens in for the auto turrets you would normally want to see. And oh, this is a little annoying. Attack up here to the watchtower. Man, this army is massive though. 8 Vikings to 3. This is gonna be a tough fight. INnoVation's, of course, gonna maybe throw down an auto turret or 2, but like that's gonna get blown away pretty quickly. Yeah, shots firing. Seeker missile. God knows how long it's been since I've heard the sound of a seeker missile, but they'll kill a tank at half health. It takes 2 seeker missiles to kill a tank. Some of you might wonder why we don't see Seeker missiles all that often either. And Legacy of the Void, they changed the energy cost to go from 100 to 125. And with that, making it very difficult to ever cast more than one, made Seeker missiles kind of fall out of the matchup. So it's really cute seeing him pick off a tank with it though. Nicely done out of aLive, that is. Viking count, still trying to do what it can. INnoVation's actually, by the way, done something sneaky behind this. He put down 2 more starports, and he started up his air weapon upgrades. So he's looking to take control of the skies one way or the other. And if you can win the sky battle, if you've got the Viking control, you can start bringing Liberators into the party. And that's actually kind of cool to see with that ranged weapon upgrade coming up for them. Uh-oh, guys. Carefree Rogues in chat. Nobody tell him that he got killed as the bit boss. Because I'm surprised it happened. Anyways, Marine's going to stim in and take out that sensor tower. These are really expensive buildings, so not fun to lose. It's a planetary that normally would not get killed like this, but there's just so many Marines in position. INnoVation, by the way, has 3-3 to the 2-2 of aLive for this fight. So seconds from finishing, INnoVation has an upgrade lead. But he's going to pick up and bail. Meanwhile, well, he did kill a base out of aLive. He had to cancel one of his at home, so he's pulling back. I think you could have drawn that out a little bit further if you really want to stutter step around the tanks, but it's the fact that you'd have to stutter step around the tanks that he probably didn't want to do. While this goes on, I didn't realize, I love the dynamic of this. The Marines, okay, they're red and blue. They're not that hard to tell apart, but the skins versus no skins. See, if everyone's always using skins all the time, it can maybe be a little confusing to watch, but I love the idea of like skins versus no skins. It makes it very much identifiable whose units belong to what, even if you're watching like 50 units casually fight at no time. Also, yo, 6 Liberators and a Viking. How many starports did he make? I thought he made 2. Yo, he got himself up to 5 starports, all with reactors. Oh, excuse me, one with the tech lab, but mostly with reactors? What is this? We also have building armor upgrades coming up at INnoVation. I really like this move. This is going to make the planetaries a lot harder to run by and stim down like we saw happen just moments ago. But these 6 Liberators are actually going to be insanely difficult for aLive to deal with. Even with this Viking count being what it is, the Liberators actually add enough splash damage that in anti-air mode, they'll actually take out a lot of the Vikings. On top of this too, INnoVation does have some upgrades going for him. aLive's trying to match him now. They both have a hell of a lot of starports. In fact, I can't even fathom what this TvT we're watching is. 5 to 4 starports, hella units versus hella units is what it comes down to. But unfortunately, INnoVation chose to take a fight within range of his opponent's Marines. Seems a little bit crazy to me, but in the process of doing this, sets up his Liberators and starts killing tanks. Now he stims his own Marines to that front line, and these medevacs have to boost on out of there. aLive lost all the Vikings and any air control he was hoping to have. And INnoVation's got this really big window opportunity to come in here and kill another base, because that is not a planetary fortress. In fact, the Liberators can just zone literally everything out here. He doesn't have to fight the army. Again, he can take that base and back away, but INnoVation looking very good in the return, trying to come back in this series. Yeah, that planetary is dead. SCVs get pulled away too. There's nowhere for them to really run to. Up 130 army supply to barely 88 out of aLive, and aLive doesn't have a lot of money. He was really depending on these new bases to get him caught up. Over here, he's going to drop a hell of a lot of mules. We're going to see that income spike up finally for him. Should be coming down. Drag it down. While he gets that base mining. Yeah, there you go. There's that little. There's the mule bump coming into play. Viking count for aLive, though, is where he put a lot of the money for this. So 13 Vikings to 10. He does not have the upgrades of INnoVation, though. Well, he's going to finish up his +1 weapons here in just a moment. INnoVation not only has +2 weapons, he's got armor upgrades, too. So in every way, INnoVation's units are superior. Liberators don't do all that much damage, generally speaking, to air units, but if units are clumped up like these Vikings, they can. But he's not using them for anti-air at all. He's just going to use them to take out these tanks. Vikings work on the rest of the Vikings, and oh my god, this is such a one-sided fight. 16 Vikings to 7. Even if any of the Marines want to get involved with the fight, he's just better off landing the Vikings to get them out of the way from INnoVations, who is now going to take this opportunity to load up and doom drop towards the, what, main? There's so many turrets here. Don't go here. Nah, he's gonna go to the. Yeah, he's gonna go to the main. On top of that production, he'll get a nice foothold on this production too. Liberators try to set up, but INnoVation has so many Vikings. The medevacs get picked off too. aLive's rushing to the defense, but GG's get called, and we're gonna go to another game 5. INnoVation, game number 5. It just seems to be tied hand in hand with him for this series and the previous one too. I don't know what the map is off the top of my head, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break while I figure it out. So sit tight, guys, and we'll see you in 2 minutes with game number 5, the final game in this series. Alright, folks, welcome back. We're in game number 5, and things have been tied up 1-1. This is still the elimination series, so your favorite player may get kicked out of the TING Open, depending on who wins this game. Spawning to the bottom left is going to be the blue Terran, aLive, with his opponent in the upper right, the red Terran, INnoVation, who's done a great job of bringing this back from the brink of defeat so far. Just gotta see if we can do it for a 5th and final time. Also, we had quite a few people hit us up during the break with some love, so thank you for all the little bitty bits, guys. So much lag, also threw in 100 bits. And then Sean Corey was a brand new sub to the channel. Woo! Also, just to touch base on this briefly, some of you guys were talking about not seeing ads during the break, and some of you specifically have that nice little light blue crown next to your name. If you have Twitch Prime, guys, you will never see commercials on Twitch unless something is broken or a bug happens. But the beauty is, your presence of simply being there in somebody's chat when they play a commercial, you still count as having seen that commercial. So Whether you're using ad block or not, doesn't matter. If you got Twitch Prime, you can feel good. You are saving Twitch broadcasters just by being there, man. Anyways, for aLive and INnoVation, aLive's changed things up a little bit more, right? Like we've seen him bring in the mech, we saw him get aggressive, we saw him play defensive, and it's really been a back and forth series. I have no easy read on who takes this fifth game based on what we've seen so far. The nice thing is, without any proxies out of INnoVation, he's not going to be throwing anything anytime soon. That was not meant to be shots fired. It was just such a bad opening for him. Someone in chat wants to know the next match. Okay, so this is the fifth and final game of the elimination series, but then we go to the winners match after this, which will be Hero, as in Root Gaming's Hero, versus Stats, says in Splice's Stats. Also, E1 Jeff. My name is Jeff. Or E1 Hefe. Either way, thank you for that Prime sub. Followed up by, oh, I like this name. He's here for pizza. There it is. As long as that pizza doesn't have pineapple on it, dude, we are good to go. I learned recently, my friend, his name's Guy, and I know, what a great name, right? He likes not only black licorice, but pineapple on his pizza. So, and naturally, I had to unfriend him and remove him from all social media. Defensively speaking here, this could be a little bit tight. The two Marines are a bit slow and not going to be part of this. He's got to use the high ground if he really wants to get the Marines involved, but they do take out the Hellion, so it's a good start. Two Reapers, though, can still beat out these Marines with grenades alone, but high ground vision trumps all. While this goes on, INnoVation's going to be swapping over to the Tech Lab, but aLive has already done this and started his Raven. The order here of operations is very different for the two, because Command Center was put down for INnoVation much earlier. He's already got the orbital done on location, whereas aLive is just starting his Command Center. Don't start this pizza discussion. Yo, if I can't like ketchup on my freaking hot dogs and my macaroni, you guys can't like pineapple on your pizza. All right? This is the compromise. Nobody gets to be happy. Pineapple on pizza is like heaven with Canadian bacon, says I am so buff 69. Mods, can we get a ban? Can we get this guy escorted off the premises, please and thank you? Stat. There we go. There's Marcos. My attack dog mod, yes. Anyways, third CC starts up pretty quickly for INnoVation. aLive still not even done his natural. It's not so bad. INnoVation's starting to get a lead now, but you guys will know for a while, even with his Command Center faster opener, it's not like it skyrocketed him. You're still limited through your SCVs. You can only mine so much off of a base. It's not like having 40 SCVs on one base is good. They actually banned him. Don't worry, they unbanned him, guys. We like to have a little bit of fun, believe it or not. Stim though for aLive, I guess is going to be okay. It starts up before INnoVations. This is the downside to INnoVation playing a little bit greedy the way he is. I hesitate to really call it like this though, because like it's a 3cc build that's not like 3 fast CCs. However, please note that it's like 3 barracks of production versus 1 barracks of production. His stim's going to finish a lot later, which as a consequence means his combat shields will probably finish later. And we've already seen one game today where combat shields made the difference in a game, much less 2-2 and 1-1 and all these other things. Combat shields can be a really big determining factor. But production's also going to be a problem. Like, okay, INnoVation maybe gets tank up. He's got enough Marines to stop a push through the front. But he's not got 2 Ravens gathering a ton of energy. I think, right? He didn't go for Ravens? Oh, he's actually got them over here. Excuse me. So that's why I didn't see them. But okay, he's got the Ravens at least. But again, the Marine counts could be a little bit lower. Probably by the time this maxes out, you know, INnoVation's sitting there with like 50-something Marines while aLive's on like 80 or 70. Top side, floating around with Ravens. Guess he's gonna go for a bit of harass. Okay, I guess there's no turrets down, so he might be able to get in here and poke, but I mean, the army is going to naturally be rallied at the natural base, so I don't know. Unless he catches this army moving out, I don't know if these Ravens will get a lot done. Nope. Oh, okay, well, whatever. whatever, I don't care. Bobbing my head like this. But the third CC build out of INnoVation, is it paying off is the real question. The best way to tell that is by looking at the income graph, and technically yes, but practically still no. The thing is, in StarCraft, no matter how many workers you have as an advantage over your opponent, it takes a long time for that to translate into the army supply, mostly because of production. So, like, INnoVation, now with these reactors finishing up, should start getting a little bit ahead of aLive and army supply, as a big thanks to that third mule, as a big thanks to those extra SCVs that were made. But for now, it's going to be a pretty close fight. In fact, actually, I'm going to take that back. I think this is going to be a very one-sided fight for aLive. His 2 Ravens alone are going to make a world of difference. Even if INnoVation kills like 30 SCVs with these 2 Ravens, which I don't think he'll do, the fact remains that, you know, he's out of position with the tanks. He's not going to be here in time. Auto turret's going to make a world of difference just for planting himself in. And yeah, he loses the Ravens, but because of this, he kills the tanks, sets his own siege tanks up. Now SCV's pulled into the fight. INnoVation comes in doing what he can, but he's getting blown away. Literally, he's got no combat shields on these Marines. GG, ladies and gentlemen, INnoVation has been eliminated from the Ting Open and will not be competing any further. Rest in peace. Guys, moment of silence for the best Terran in Korea, dying first in the group. Press F to pay your respects. And I gotta mute everything. We need a pure moment of silence. Okay. Next up, we got the PvP coming up of hero versus stats. We're gonna get those vetoes going ASAP. We have to go to some sponsored ad content really quick. So again, this is a word from our sponsors, Ting. They're actually great people. If you're from the United States, it's worth looking into them. But yeah, where's the sad music? I actually have the sad meme music. Where is this here? It's not playing? Oh, it's just really quiet.
Darkness, my old friend.
Okay, memes aside, guys, we're gonna get into this this sponsored ad content. So again, if you don't know what Ting is, it's a US mobile phone service. You can go to bttv.ting.com to claim $25 in credit. Even if you aren't gonna actually use their service for a phone service, you can get stuff off of their store with $25 off with our code. That being said, here's Ting to talk about themselves, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.